Hello students, welcome back to my YouTube channel Study Restfully. Today I am going to share the answers of the Ahsec HS Second Year Alternative English 2024 question paper, and these answers are beautifully prepared to score high in exams. This video is specially based on the new course Group A 40 marks, so listen carefully till the end. Number 1. Give brief answers to any 5 of the following questions in full sentence. Each question carries 1 mark, means a total of 5 marks. A. Who is Miss Smith? Answer. Miss Smith is a poor young woman whom the wealthy and privileged Rosemary Fell meets by chance and invites home for a cup of tea. B. With which dance form of Kamrupa was Yakumanattum compared? Answer. Yakumanattum was compared to the Deodhani Nritya of Kamrupa in Assam. According to the text, Deodhani is considered one of the early roots of many Indian dance forms. C. Where did Hazarika buy his Rolleiflex camera? Answer. Hazarika bought his Rolleiflex camera from a second-hand shop in Calcutta. D. What is vestry? Answer. A vestry is a room attached to a church or chapel used for keeping vestments, sacred vessels, and important records. E. What was the only thing Foreman could write? Answer. Albert Edward Foreman could only write his name, yet he became a successful businessman through confidence and hard work. F. Whose arm searched for the perfect duck's egg? Answer. The wrestler's arm searched for the perfect duck's egg because he believed the biggest egg would make him stronger for wrestling. Z. Named a restaurant Rama worked in after his business was over. Answer. After his business failed, Rama took up a job as a waiter in a Kohinoor restaurant. H. Who translated the Assamese story Binakutir into English? Answer. Ravin Gohai beautifully rendered the Assamese story Binakutir into English. I. For which exam was the young man in Binakutir preparing? Answer. In the story Binakutir, the young man was preparing for the MA, that is Master of Arts. Now let's move on to question number 2. Answer any 5 of the following questions. Each question carries 2 marks, that is a total of 10 marks. A. How does Philip react towards Miss Smith? Answer. Philip reacts with sympathy towards Miss Smith. He feels sorry for her poverty and tells Rosemary to help her. His attitude shows that he cares for the poor girl and wants Rosemary to treat her kindly. B. Write a short note on the significance of the title, A Cup of Tea. Answer. The title, A Cup of Tea, is significant because the whole story begins with Miss Smith's simple request for tea. That small request reveals Rosemary's false generosity and highlights the difference between the rich and the poor. C. Name the 2 places associated with Buddhism as mentioned by Dr. Hazarika. Answer. Dr. Hazarika mentions Sarnath and Bodh Gaya as the 2 places connected with Buddhism. These places are important because they are closely related to the life and teachings of Lord Buddha. D. What is the lamentable ignorance discovered by the new vicar? Answer. The lamentable ignorance discovered by the new vicar is that the voyager Albert Edward cannot read or write. His illiteracy shocks the vicar, who believes that such ignorance is shameful for a church official. E. Make a list of the regular customers visiting Rama's stall. Answer. Rama's stall attracted many regular customers such as rickshaw pullers, laborers, boot polish boys, office workers, and people coming out of the cinema. F. Why did Rama say, "Gently brother, I was once a hotel owner myself"? Answer. Rama says, "Gently brother, I was once a hotel owner myself" to remind the rude customer that he too has experience in the hospitality field. By saying this, he tries to calm the situation and show empathy instead of arguing. Z. Who inquired about the monthly shipment of a product? What was the product? Answer. In Binakutir, a couple comes to the shop and inquires about the monthly shipment of a product. The product they ask for is Glaxo. This shows that even in that remote area, modern products like Lexo had become popular among the people. 8. Present your impression of the neighborhood where Bina Kutir is located. Answer. Bina Kutir is located in a neighborhood that is changing and becoming more modern. Around the old traditional Bina Kutir, new concrete buildings are being built. This shows the contrast between old tradition and new modern life. My dear students, now let's move forward to question number 3. Give answer to any two of the following questions. Each question carries 3 marks, that is a total of 6 marks. A. Who according to you is the martyr in the martyr's corner? Give reasons. Answer. In R.K. Narayan's The Martyr's Corner, Rama may be called a martyr because he becomes a victim of change and loses his small business even though he has done no wrong. The word martyr is used in an ironic sense, not for someone who dies but for someone who suffers silently. Rama's sacrifice shows how ordinary people are crushed by progress and a changing city while society does not even notice their loss. B. What was the new vicar's talent? Answer. The new vicar, who represented the educated modern generation, had a special talent for handling babies. He could calm a crying infant simply by the way he held it. He could easily settle the baby in the bend of his robed arm, and he felt a quiet pride in this ability. C. How does Hajarika recount his feeling about being an Indian as he moves forward in his journey? Answer. As Bhupen Hajarika travels abroad, his personal nostalgia for Assam changes into a broader feeling of national identity. By seeing many cultures, he realizes that India, though full of different traditions, is still one united nation. He understands that he is not only Assamese but also a part of a larger Indian identity. D. How does the narrator use the Coca-Cola bottle to facilitate the flight of his imagination in the story Bina Kutir? Answer. In Bina Kutir, the Coca-Cola bottle becomes a gateway for the narrator's imagination. It lifts him above his ordinary surroundings and allows him to mentally travel across the modern world. Through that simple bottle, he dreams of distant places, new lifestyles, and a larger life beyond his routine reality. It becomes a symbol of his hidden desires and creative inner world. 4. Answer any two of the questions given below. Each question carries 5 marks. Total of 10 marks. My dear students, since it is not mentioned here how many words the answer should be in, we will keep 100 to 150 words as per our own choice. But children, remember that you will write the answer only by focusing on the main point of the question. A. Comment on the significance of the title of the story, Bina Kutir. Answer. The title Bina Kutir is important because it highlights the cottage as the main setting of the story. It is not just a physical place but a meaningful symbol. The name Bina, which can mean without, may suggest something missing or incomplete, and the narrator keeps wondering about this. The house reflects themes such as loneliness, imagination, human connection, and the tension between tradition and modern changes around it. Bina Kutir also creates a feeling of nostalgia and simplicity, especially when compared to the new concrete buildings coming up nearby. The cottage becomes the center of observation through which the narrator looks at the world and interprets the people living there. In some interpretations, the title also suggests a woman named Bina who may represent strength and independence, showing that she is capable of living on her own and breaking social expectations. B. Describe in detail how Rama's business was finished. Answer. Rama's business failed because of a mixture of forced relocation, poor health, and changing customer loyalty. A political disturbance and a road construction project forced him to leave his successful spot at Martyr's Corner, which resulted in a sharp fall in customers and income. His new place was not convenient and other shops around it attracted more buyers than he could. At the same time, Rama's health declined and he could no longer maintain the same quality of food. The goods became stale and he even tried to reuse leftovers, which damaged his reputation further. Slowly, customers stopped trusting him and they turned to other vendors. This business losses and his inability to adjust to the new situation made it impossible for him to continue. Finally, he had to shut down his stall completely and he ended up working as a waiter, marking the end of his once successful business. C. Give a brief account of Bhupen Hazarika's experience of visiting a Sri Lankan family home. Answer. During his stopover in Sri Lanka, Bhupen Hazarika visited a modern family home and was unexpectedly struck by a deep sense of familiarity even though he was far away from Assam. In the drawing room of that house, he noticed elements that reflected Western influence. There was a piano and a Madonna painting by a European artist, and our children were singing English songs. What surprised him most was that this scene did not feel foreign. Instead, it reminded him of similar drawing rooms he had seen in Shillong. This moment made him realize that certain cultural experiences are shared across borders. It showed him that despite geographical distance, people can still feel connected through common values, tastes, and habits. The warmth, simplicity, and cultural refinement of the Sri Lankan household made him understand that human emotions, hospitality, and cultural expressions have a universal quality that goes beyond nationality. D. Describe the character development of Rosemary Fell throughout the story A Cup of Tea. Answer. Rosemary Fell's character in A Cup of Tea develops from a woman who pretends to be generous into someone whose true insecurity is exposed. In the beginning, she is a rich, modern, fashionable lady who enjoys luxury and wants to feel important. Bringing Miss Smith was not a real charity but an impulsive act shaped by fantasy and vanity. She likes the idea of helping because it makes her feel special. The turning point comes when Philip says that Miss Smith is pretty. At that point, Rosemary's confidence collapses and her jealousy takes over. Her false kindness disappears and she quickly sends the girl away with the money. The story ends with her asking Philip, "Am I pretty?" showing that she cares more about her own beauty and validation than about humanity. Thus, Rosemary's brief charity only reveals her shallow nature, insecurity, and dependence on appearance rather than genuine compassion. E. Does the verger regret his inability to read and write? Is it impacting his life in any way? Answer. The verger does not regret his inability to read and write. For 16 years, his illiteracy never affected his work, but when the new vicar discovered it, he insisted that the verger must learn or resign. The verger calmly chose to leave his job rather than learn at his age because he believed that his long and sincere service was proof enough of his capability. This loss, however, opened a new path for him. He decided to start a small tobacconist and a news agent shop, and it soon became highly successful. He then opened more branches and earned more money than he ever earned as a verger. People, including his banker, were amazed that such success came from a man who could not even read or write. In the end, his resignation became a blessing because it led him to independence, financial growth, and a more fulfilling life than he had before. Number 5. Explain with reference to context any one of the following extracts. This question carries 1 mark. A. And suddenly it seemed to Rosemary such an adventure. It was like something out of a novel by Dostoevsky, this meeting in the dust. Answer. In this quote from Catherine Mansfield's A Cup of Tea, Rosemary feels that meeting the poor girl in the dark street is like an exciting scene from a dramatic novel. She compares the moment to something written by Dostoevsky because his novels deal with poverty, suffering, and intense human emotions. Rosemary lives a rich and comfortable life where everything is elegant and controlled, but her life is also empty and boring. So, when she suddenly meets a poor girl asking for help, she imagines it as an adventure that breaks the dull routine of her luxury. Instead of truly understanding the girl's pain, Rosemary treats the moment like a story that makes her feel special and important. The phrase meeting in the dark shows both the actual gloomy place and the dark reality of poverty, which Rosemary finds interesting only because it gives her a dramatic feeling. B. He always said there was a great deal too much education in the world for his taste. Answer. In The Voyager by W. Somerset Maugham, the line, he always said, there was a great deal too much education in the world for his taste, reflects the former vicar's belief that formal education is not the only measure of a person's ability. Albert Edward Foreman, the Voyager, repeats this to defend himself when the new vicar is shocked to learn that he cannot read or write. The old vicar valued practical wisdom, honesty, and experience more than bookish learning. This quote also becomes ironic later because although Albert Edward loses his job for being illiterate, he eventually becomes a very successful businessman. His success proves that common sense, hard work, and natural intelligence can sometimes achieve more than degree or certificates. In this way, the quote highlights the story's theme that education has value, but it is not everything, and true ability is not always found in textbooks. Question number 6. Give answers. A. Write the meaning of the words given below. Each word carries half mark, that means a total of 2. Words are respectively dazed, fanciful, deportment, gratis. Answers are respectively confused, imaginary, manner of behavior, and without payment. B. Write the antonym of the words given below. Each word carries half mark, that means total of 1 mark. Words are glib and odious respectively. Antonyms are thoughtful and delightful. C. Write the synonym of the words given below. Total mark 1. Words are dilapidated and mesmerizing. Synonyms are decayed and enthralling respectively. So dear students, Group A ends here. To watch the remaining parts, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you.